fallen leaves tell a story. The great Elden Ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all. Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask. Fear, the deathbed companion, the loathsome dung-eater, and Sir Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing. And one other, whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between. To stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord.
What is up, y'all? I am Byte the Robot, and this is Elden Ring. I should probably preface this by saying this is the very first time I am streaming, but I wanted to share a journey across the lands between with all of you. And so, without further ado, let's get into it. So, you may have noticed that I am playing the Wretch class, which means that I am starting naked. I have a club, and that is about it. Alright, so first things first, gonna pick up a key item, and we're gonna get going. I really love how melodramatic the intro to this game actually is. Sir Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing. I wish to be that level of cheese when I get older. Alright. Now the first boss that we're going to fight is From Software. Standard. You're not supposed to win this fight. Just going to preface this right now. But if you beat it, you do get a bonus item. You still get the item anyway if you manage to beat it later. But I'll show the case that when the time comes. I'm just teasing y'all. Don't mind me. Alright. So, because I'm stubborn, we're going to try and beat it the first try anyway. Let's do this. Alright. Once you get about midway through the arena, comes. This is a grafted scion. He's going to start out as a boss, but will become a regular enemy later. You can see here that you can dodge through most of his attacks, and you can space through a lot of it. But unfortunately, we lose. And we get thrown down a hole. Hey yo, who dis?
Don't worry, Torrent. Fortune is on his side. We found him here, after all. One of his kind is sure to seek the Elden Ring. Even if it does violate the Golden Order.
Wakey wakey. Wakey wakey, eggs and bakey. So in general, in defeat, don't give up. I'm going to try not to talk through cutscenes, because I find that to be quite rude. But, as we get into the lands between, if you jump down this way, you will be able to go through a tutorial, where you will learn the controls, and the basic mechanics of the game. We're not going to do it, because I'm just going to walk you through it as we go. Now, at character creation, you do also get to choose a starting gift. And in this case, what I have chosen is the Stone Sword key. I've done this so I can activate this. Not the Grace. Although, you could forgive me for doing that. Yeah. Yeah, you will. So, the Stone Sword key activates these. Later on, we're going to come back, because trying to do this now would be like pulling teeth. But down there is an item that will help us out a lot. I'm just not gonna get it yet. That'll just let us write messages. That thing that I picked up. So there is a route that I like to take that will allow us to get a plus 15 weapon fairly early on. But for now, it's time for one of my favorite moments in gaming. Man, I really love this shot. That first intro you get into Limgrave is one of the coolest things I have ever seen. So, what we're going to do now is speak to this guy.
Oh, yes. Tarnished, are we? Come to the lands between for the Elden Ring? Of course you have. No shame in it. Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless. Without
Rude.
guidance, without the strength of runes, and without an invitation to the Round Table Hold, you are fated, it seems, to die in obscurity.
Well, what about you then?
Luckily for you, however, there is one shining ray of hope for even the maidenless. Me. Vare. Take care to listen. Are you
Aye.
familiar with grace? The golden light that gives life to you tarnished. You may also behold its golden rays, pointing in a particular direction at times.
You mean like that?
Is the guidance of grace, a path that a tarnished must travel. Indeed. Grace's guidance holds the answers. It will lead you tarnished to the path you are meant to follow, even if it leads you to your grave.
Oh, will it now?
Grace's guidance will reveal the path forward, most certainly, to Castle Stormvale, over on the cliff, the home of the decrepit demigod, Godric the Grafted.
Now, I will say that what he says here is a bit of a debate, because if you try going to Castle Stormvale right now, you'll probably get your ass kicked. But, excuse me. But if you try going there now, you're probably gonna get your butt kicked. So, instead, I'm gonna show you the route that I take, usually. And it usually results in a plus 15 weapon, and some fairly good buffs before you even start playing the game proper. What we first must do is run past this guy. Don't pick a fight. We're just gonna run past. Have a good day, sir. We will need this up front, however. This is some runes. You're gonna find them lying around, and they will be used for currency and as your XP. No explanation needed there. Oh, didn't want to access that. What we wanted is this. Smithing stones will be used to upgrade our weapons. And that will be very important going forward. Also, pay close attention. Some of these skulls are going to glow. And if a skull glows, that means there's runes in there. So we're going to break them when we see them. Kind of like that. But for now, let's keep going. So this isn't by any stretch my favorite From Software game, but it is definitely up there. My favorite is actually, pardon me, sir, rude. My favorite game is actually Bloodborne. I love it. And I wish there was a remake. These guys trying so hard. Bye. The next item of importance that we're going to pick up is going to be over here. And it is a whetstone knife that will let us apply Ashes of War to our weapon. Rude. Rude. You don't see me smacking you at random. Maybe I should. Nah, I won't. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. Perfect opportunity to show this. What Melina gave us when we were naked and asleep are these flasks down here. You can change them on your bar, but you have two. One of them is the Flask of Crimson Tear, which, as you will see, restores your health. But you also have Flask of Cerulean Tills? Oh my goodness. You'll have to forgive me, I'm kind of new to this still. Anyway, Cerulean Tears. Let's say I use a little bit of FP. If I use this, recovers the FP, which is that blue bar under the red one. Just thought I should let you know. And now let's continue. We're going to run past these guys. And Vare mentioned, if you follow Grace, you will eventually find a site of Grace. Looks like these little golden trails. And then if you touch this, it's basically like a checkpoint. And because we encountered some rude people, we're going to sit down for a bit. Think about our life choices. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear my mouse clicks in the background.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina. I offer you an accord.
You're gonna give me a card, but we just met.
Have you heard of the Finger Maidens? They serve the Two Fingers, offering guidance and aid to the Tarnished. But you, I am afraid, are maidenless.
Yo, why you all keep bringing that up?
I can play the role of maiden, turning runes into strength to aid you in your search for the Elden Ring. You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd Tree.
Yeah, okay.
When it's settled, summon me by grace to turn runes into strength. Ah, another matter. I bequeath to you this ring. Use it to traverse great distances. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent. Torrent has chosen you. Treat him with respect.
Oh, I will. He's gonna be our best friend the whole playthrough. I'm not saying that ironically, by the way. I mean, he literally will be like one of our best things. Because Torrent is that little horse thing. that she was riding in that cutscene earlier. And what we're going to do is actually equip him. I like putting him here because when you press and hold the triangle button, I am playing on PS5, you will notice that you have another hotbar for items, and you can access them pretty easily by pressing and holding triangle. And so, now that we have equipped him, you can actually jump on him at any time, and he becomes a quick way to run across the world. One other thing, just to ensure that we stay safe, nighttime is pretty dangerous to roam around. There are enemies exclusive to the nighttime map, and I don't want to deal with them. No thank you. At least not yet. So, we're going to make use of the pastime option. Go to morning. We're going to wakey eggs and bakey again. And before we even move on, there's one more thing we got to do. You can press the middle pad, and you'll access the map. And you can see all the sites of grace and places you visited on this map. Doesn't look like much now, but if you notice over here, there is some place where you can pick up a map fragment, which will slowly reveal the map over time. You want to collect these. Alright, so now we're going to go back to the Church of Ella. And apparently on my forehead, because I forgot to touch the site of grace. Oh dear. Alright. Well, we're going to have to ride back there. But that's okay. It's just backwards from the way we came. And while we're going, we may as well pick up the map fragment. Rude. Alright. Now that we got that, just gonna make our way back. Fun fact about the Crimson Tears. They also heal Torrent. So if he takes damage, you can get rid of it. And this guy's gonna be rude, but that's okay. We're just gonna go back. Oh, here's one of the glowing skulls. Fun fact, when you have Torrent, you can just step on them. And they end up being, well, you know, the same as if you were to hit them. So we're gonna rest. Oh my god, you're gonna have to forgive me. Because, yeah. Alright, let's see. Usually there's someone there that will show up. Oh, there she is.
May I have a word?
You can have several words, girl. What you want?
A pleasure to meet thee, Tarnished. I am the witch Renna. I'd heard tell of a Tarnished hurtling about atop a spectral steed, and upon looking into the matter, the talk I surmise is of thee. Thou art possessed of the power, no? To call forth a spectral steed named Torrent.
Yeah, I can do that.
As I had hoped, I was entrusted this for thee by Torrent's former master.
Well, thank you.
'Tis a bell for calling forth spirits. Summon them with it. From ash and return to the Erdtree, the spirits will obey thine command but briefly, as they recall battles past. Now it is thine, to do with as thou wishest.
Hey, very cool. Thank you.
Forgive mine intrusion, Tarnished. I doubt we shall again meet. But all the same, learn well the lands between. How long will it be, I wonder, before the Tarnished tire of obeisance to the two fingers?
And there she goes. But she did highlight a mechanic that we may be making use of, and that is the use of spirit summoning. I'm going to just very quickly show you what that looks like, because it's kind of cool, actually. So, as she said, there are certain places where you can actually summon spirits to help you in battle. You can tell because... Wait, let me actually equip it first. Weird thing about this item. You don't actually equip the bell. You have to equip the ashes. Doing this allows you to summon spirits. So we're going to put that. And you see this over there. That like gravestone icon. That's how you can tell that you can summon a spirit. It works like this. Not like that. And then as you can see, I have summoned 3 spectral wolves in attack mode. Sorry. I couldn't resist. But these spirits will actually help you fight stuff if you start a fight. So, for example, if I go over here and start some stuff with this boy over here, these wolves are going to fight with me. Aw, I didn't get the riposte. Yeah, so one thing you can do actually is stance break enemies. And those stance breaks will let you do a visceral attack. Or a critical, whatever you want to call it. Those are very nice, and yeah, sometimes the wolves and other spirits start random fights. But that's okay, because we get a little bit of passive rune gain. Not that we need it. So, for now we're just gonna send the wolves home. Because I just wanted to show them off. And we're going to continue on the route. I'm going to be making less diversions. And once again, I have to go back to mourning. Because I planned this poorly. But the objective is to pick up a bunch of random runes and also upgrade materials. We're going to do that first by going through all the rude people. Including this guy. There's another grace up here, by the way. In case you wanted to use it instead. Sometimes I do, because it's a little bit quicker to where I need to go. But, we relax it today. Now, normally this man Kool-Aid Man's down. We're going to ignore him. Because he is inconsequential. And those horny boys usually summon more enemies. Or attract enemies, I should say. They don't really summon new ones. You also want to look for these bird tree looking things. These tiny ones. Because they usually have golden seeds. Golden seeds are used to upgrade your flasks. Pretty straightforward stuff. It's in every From Software game in some way. There's another Gracer. Oh, come on, Torrent. There we go. Now we're going to sit down before the wolves get here. Bye, doggos. And I'm going to pick some stuff up over here. There's another Stone Sword key, in case you didn't pick one as a gift. And there's also this lady. What up?
Everyone's been grafted. Everyone who came with me. They crossed the sea for me. They fought for me. Only to have their arms taken. Their legs taken. Even their heads taken. Taken and stuck to the spider. Did you know? If you're grafted by the spider, you become a chrysalid. It's quite a lark when you think about it.
Hey, what do you mean by that?
You're all on your own, are you? And heading to Stormvale Castle? Enticed by the one in the white mask, I suppose. Oh, you've come to be one with the spider? Well, that makes us two peas in a pod. But I don't have your courage. It's scary, you know, having your arms cut off. Or legs. Or your head. I want to be like everyone else, but I'm just too scared. I'm nothing but a craven.
I'm not gonna lie, her voice kind of makes me laugh. No, it shouldn't, but... okay.
No. Can you take this little one along with you?
Yes, I can take this little one along with me. Oh, excuse me.
The poor thing deserves someone braver than myself. And the spirits look rather fondly upon you. It'll be glad of your company, I think, the little one.
You think so? I hope you're right.
It was a pleasure to see you. Oh, can you pass on a message for me? If you see the little chrysalids in Stormvale Castle, tell them I love them. And that, despite my craven heart, I'm sure I'll be joining their club soon enough. I'm finally getting the hang of this whole pain thing, you know?
Yeah, that tends to happen when you play FromSoft games for a long time. Alright. So, what we're going to do now is continue on our journey. There is a place over here, just a bit southeast of the shack, that has this, which is more smithing stones. Just 3 of them. We need 12 to get a full first set of upgrades. But if you go this way and follow the worm, you will eventually find... Where are you? Oh, there's a graveyard over here. Yes, this is what we're looking for. These graveyards hold free runes. And typically, they hold a lot of them, as well as some traps. Like those little explodey eyeballs. So what we want to do is pick them up. These will be handy later. Having a set of soft and hard runes is always good. We'll let him blow up. I witnessed you. Sorry for the Mad Max joke. I just had to make it. If y'all haven't seen Mad Max, there's dudes who paint their lips silver. And they scream out, "Witness me! Witness me!" before they blow up. Alright. So, we also want to go back this way. And there's going to be a bunch of giants. But, there's also going to be a breakable statue. You can notice these by... Ooh, skull. You can notice these by this. Like a glowing gash in the chest. And we need 1 giant, but we got 2, to break it for us. And when we did... Oh my god. I missed it. That's okay. Because it gives us more upgrade material. As we see there. Ah! Rude! Alright, so we're just gonna continue on our way. Sometimes the RNG of the enemy attacks is very rude. So we're gonna duck down here. Run through the camp. Nothing here for we need. And we're gonna meet a friend soon. I like activating him here because I just think he's adorable. He's like Siegmeyer.
Can you hear me? Help me. I'm stuck. Hello? Hello? Anyone?
Help me, Stepjar, I'm stuck. Sorry.
Hello? Oh, my stars. I'm so happy to see you. I am Alexander, also known as the Iron Fist. And as you can see, I'm stuck here. Please, can you get me out of this?
Absolutely.
My thanks. 1,000 thanks. Just give me a good smack from the rear with something nice and big. And I'll pop clean out, I'm sure. Don't dally. No, there's no need to fret. I'm very well trained. Give it your all, I say.
If you say so, bro. Alright. Now, because of the weapon I'm using, it's probably going to take a few smacks, but you can do this with pretty much any weapon. Just use a couple of charged R2s. We are triumphant in our delight.
Well played, good sir. Well played. Though that mighty wallop of yours almost spelled the end of me. Well, I'm out now, and that's what counts. I thank you. And as a token of my appreciation, I'd like you to have this.
Hey, thanks. That wasn't my peckish.
Once again, pleasure is mine. I am the warrior Jar known as Alexander. Iron Fist Alexander. I journey to
Rude mosquito.
where I intend to further my education in the ways of war. And beyond these lands lie the scarlet, rot-blighted Kaled wilds. And upon their southern edge is Redmane Castle, in which a festival of combat is being held. I'd heard whispers of such festivities before. Doesn't the notion set your breast aflutter?
It does when you put it that way.
I'm heading eastward to Redmane Castle on the southern edge of the scarlet, rot-blighted Kaled wilds. I've heard there's to be a festival held there.
Well, maybe we'll see you there, bro. Let's move on. Like I said, he's one of my favorite characters. He's very much like Siegmeyer of Katarina from the older Dark Souls games. Or Sieg... something. There's Siegmeyer and like one other Sieg that you find in other Dark Souls. Wait, I didn't want to rest. But while we're here, allow me to show you the flasks option. Since we have a golden seed in our inventory, you can see that there's a little golden icon next to the add charge to flask. If you'd use this, you get one more charge, which means more healing. If we had a sacred tier, we could increase how good the healing is. Right now it's at a pretty basic level, but it will serve for our purposes, since we are only level 1. And for now, we're going to get rid of our ceruleans. Oh, I should mention, the allocate flask option basically means just how many crimson to cerulean flasks you carry. So you can change that ratio here. We're going to go with crimsons for now because that's the most important. And then we're going to get up and move on. We're going to ignore this guy because, nah, we're not dealing with that. That is a mad pumpkin head. I don't say that to be funny either, but he literally is called a mad pumpkin head. And we've gotten everything we need from this direction, but I also want to tag a Grace on the way. Over there is D, Hunter of the whatever. We'll meet him later. Now I usually like tagging this Grace, because we're going to have to come in this direction eventually. Because over there is Kaled. You can see by the Divine Tower. For right now, though, we need to go grab more stuff. And Wow, I can't talk today. Alright. We're gonna go back to Aguil Lake. And we need to head to Castle Morn, which is this way. We're gonna make a pit stop on the way, though. Because we're gonna cross the bridge.
Oi! You there. Could you help us out, Cully?
Nah, not yet. Admittedly, that's a character I've never interacted with. His name is Bach. I know that much. But I never really interact with him. Maybe we will in this playthrough. Depends on what you guys want. I also need to figure out how to turn on chat, because I have zero clue on how to do that in OBS. But after this recording session, maybe you guys can tell me how. There's an item we need to grab up here. This is a pickled golden foot. Rude. So basically the pickled golden foot will increase our rune game for a little bit of a time. You also want to go behind the waypoint ruins, because there is another graveyard. And we like these. Here's this. There's also wolves here, so be careful. And we're going to continue on our way. Generally speaking, you want to follow the road. The road is where we need to follow. In case you didn't pick it up from the first time I said. Oh my god. Here's another grace. But no will. I'm so sorry. That was a corny joke even by my standards. Alright, let's go. Also, keep that location up there in mind. We're gonna go there later. For a very, very good boy. And to do a favor for him. Not now, though. All you need to know is that this bridge is kind of annoying to get across. Sometimes I like to use Spirit Ashes, or sometimes I just like to YOLO. We're going to do that today. Going to YOLO across the bridge, grabbing items on the way. More upgrade. Another Stone Sword key. And we made it. Hell yeah. And we're also going to talk to someone else who's just chilling over here. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Hello? Is somebody there?
Yeah, sorry.
Hold your ear for a moment, please. My name is Irina. I've escaped from Castle Morn to the south. The servants there have rebelled. I can't be sure what it is. My eyesight's been weak since birth, you see. But I swore I heard frightful howling from all over. My good father secreted me out the castle, but decided himself to stay. He says it's his duty. As commander.
Wow, that sucks. I'm sorry.
I fear for father's life. The servants are full of wrath, filled with hatred for every one of us. They've since come for every one of the companions I escaped with. They haven't spared a soul. I fear it's no different at Castle Morn. Please, I implore you, would you mind taking a letter to my father at the castle? My soul wishes that he escape, even if his honor should be the price. Please. I just want him to be safe.
Yeah, I mean, it's the least I can do. I accidentally kicked you in the head, so...
Thank you. Dearly. Then please, take this. Deliver it to my father, who remains in the castle, if you please.
Will do. Thank you for your time. We're not going to go there right away, and not complete it to completion, at least yet, because we still have errands to do. We're going to grab as much stuff here because it's useful. Not so much that, but this. I just tend to grab everything by force of habit. Alright, we're gonna grab the rune. Another stone. Now those over there don't actually give runes, but they did shine. They just give you ruin fragments. I almost said rune. My English isn't very good today. But here's another side of grace. And I'm going to show you something cool. Because if you find in the world these are spirit springs, which Torrent can use to get Air Jordans and jump high. You jump good. We came up here for this. This is a shield that offers passive stamina regeneration. Oh my god. Please excuse me. My English is terrible today. So, even though we can't really use it, it says we can use it with both hands. Which means, if I two-hand my weapon, suddenly I have the stats to use it. But all we need is for her to wear it on the back. For our purposes. Now, another cool thing about Spirit Springs is that you can use them to cushion a fall. Like so. If I did that without jumping into the Spirit Spring, I would have probably died. And that's not what we want. No, no, no. So we're gonna just ride up here. Gotta be careful about a golem sniper. He will knock us off Torrent if we're not careful. We're heading to Castle Morn for two things. More upgrade stones, and also for the weapon of our playthrough, which is the Claymore. Has a good Ash of War in it, but we're going to change it later. And, well, you'll see. Now, it is entirely possible to kill this guy up front. I just don't, because it's not worth it. Wow, that was lucky. Usually he hits me here. At least once. Also, if you see these boundaries, you can't ride Torrent anymore. And it's usually the indication of a legacy dungeon. Legacy dungeons are just like standard Dark Souls areas. They're separate from the main world. Alright. Now this above area is a little bit annoying. So if I don't talk very much, I'm sorry. But there's a lot of misbegotten up here. Misbegotten are sort of like these little dudes that look kind of like chimeras with people heads. You'll see. And also a lot of dogs. And here's one of my things that I do to make sure in case I die. I like to run back over these elevator buttons. It's because it sends the elevator back down. So if we die, I won't have to wait for it to come back down. Alright, here comes the annoying part. Hi, dogs. Bye, dogs. Bye, Felicia. Alright. Ah! Got tagged. That's okay. Tactic I could use here. I'm just not going to because I'm lazy. And that is a quit out tactic. Sorry, I burped. But quitting out. Quitting out usually lets you reset enemy positions. They will go back to the place that they spun, and they lose aggro right away. It just requires you to quickly quit it out to the menu. Like I said, not going to do that, because I'm lazy, and why not? Alright, so they're mad, and there's going to be another one up here that will try to ambush us. Here he comes. I like to lock on and roll past. And that's it. We literally ignore everybody. There's another room. That guy was having a good time. We're also gonna just run across this battlefield. And we're not gonna bother with anybody. You do you, baby. Babies. Because right up here is Irina's father.
There's a face I've not seen before. I'm Edgar, warden of this castle, as ordained by Lord Godric himself. But you can see how things have turned out. The menials have all rebelled. They gave me good service, or so I thought. But it seems it was all an act. Foul creatures, as it said, and true enough, they're foul inside and out. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but whatever you come here to do, I'm afraid Castle Morn won't hold much longer. Take this, by way of apology.
Oh, well, thank you. Here's a letter.
From Irina. Thank you. I mean, you're dead, but I can't leave yet. Even if the castle should fall, as commander, I must remain to ensure the treasured sword of Morn does not fall into the wrong hands.
Well, dang, that's not what your daughter wants.
If you see Irina, do tell her that her father will come for her once he's fulfilled his duty.
Well, what if your duty is duty, my guy? So, there's not much he can say for now. And we'll come back later. But what we must do now, rude, extra rude, triple rude, is we are going we're going to explore Castle Morn a little bit. Mostly because there's more upgrade materials for free. But also we need to pick up some other stuff. So let's do that. And as we go, allow me to just gush a little bit about FromSoft games. Because I've been playing them for a long time. And I always think that they're awesome. Even back when I was still just a little program in my motherboard's eye. Sorry. Got sentimental. So this is an item that we want. Just like our turtle shell, the pickled turtleneck will give us a bit of stamina regen, which is good. We're also going to nab this thing over here. That's... Oh, wait. I miscalculated. Yeah. And I just remembered what's up there. It's not worth it. Basically, it's a talisman, where every time you land an attack, it builds up, and then the last attack in the combo gets a boost. Which I should actually just now mention. Whenever you use R1s, or R2s, they have a separate move set that does different damage based on which attack you are in the sequence. So for the club, for instance, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that last hit that's smacked into the ground would get a boost with that talisman I would have picked up. But it's not important. So, instead we're going to move on. And there are rats in here. Rats in this game are very annoying. They're like dogs, but worse. So we're just, again, gonna ignore everything. And just grab stuff. But we did unlock a shortcut. Not really a shortcut, but a grace. To come back here later and fight. Oh! Ooh! Well, now you know what it looks like when we die. And it's a good time to explain. If I move over here for a sec, you can see in the bottom right that I lost all my runes. This happens in every From Software game. And the best way to get it back is you can see it over there. There's this golden tree where our runes are. If we interact with it, we get our runes back. Now we just need to not die again. That actually kind of jump scared me. But that's okay. These games are nothing if not a bit spooky. I don't know if y'all remember this, but in Dark Souls 3, they had a literal spoopy area with jump scares and everything. Irithyll Dungeon. I love going through there sometimes. It's like going through a haunted house. You got dudes with malformed bodies hitting you and screaming in your face. Yeah, it's like a haunted house. Maybe one day I'll play it on the channel. Up to you, though. Ooh, rude. He almost hit me. And I just remember there's nothing over here. But it is a pretty view. Not. Sometimes I get caught up in the small details. So, I forget where things are sometimes. But we're done here. And we're going to go back to a site of grace that we visited previously. That site of grace being the grace that's near... I can't remember the name. You'll see. Excuse me again. Now, like I'm saying, there's some of my favorite areas in From Software games. And soon we're going to see one of them. Because we're going to go back. Oh, come on. Sorry, my brain, it decided to stop working. Anyway, off we go. Back to Stormhill. And here's where the debate happens. You could continue down the road here and get into Stormvale, and you'll probably lose to the first boss then. This is happening because the game wants to encourage you to explore. So what we're going to do is go this way. It's not a very obvious path, but it does lead to very good rewards down the road. So you just got to go underneath this arch. There's another road. And this road and path will take you to a place called the Urnia of the Lakes. And it is by far one of my favorite areas in FromSoft. And you can get there without ever fighting anything. Except for the first boss that you're meant to lose to, obviously. We're going to also run into some wolves in here. They're rude, so we're going to ignore them. And I bumped my microphone. Sorry about that. I don't have a very good one, so I'm going to have to upgrade sometime. Yep, there are the rude wolves. And we're going to just right on pass. Get out of here, furries. Don't mind me, just passing through. If in peace. And there's a lady that's there. We're not going to talk to her yet. She does look suspiciously like Irina. But what we will do is go to this church. We're gonna go to church. The Church of Aerith. And it contains two things. First thing that we want is a sacred tear, which, like I said earlier, will increase the potency of our Crimson Tears, meaning it'll heal more. But we gotta use it at a grace. Second is this Guy. Like I said, guys, my English ain't very good today.
You're tarnished, aren't you?
Yeah, we gave it away.
Perhaps you could spare some runes. Believe it or not, I studied glintstone sorceries at the Academy of Rea Lucaria. For a small donation, I'd be happy to share my knowledge.
Yeah, sure.
Well, bless you, bless you. You're a true saint. My name is Topes. Presuming you're interested, I can teach you sorceries, as promised. Only, none of them are particularly great.
Oh, don't say that about yourself, bro. I bet they're great. We're not actually going to buy any sorceries here, but just know that you can.
Apologies, friend. I'm afraid my meager sorceries are no match for your generosity. Oh, right. I can tell you what I know about this place. That should help a bit. You've seen that structure to the north, towering over the water. That's the Academy of Rea Lucaria, where we study glintstone sorceries. Only its doors have been closed for quite some time now. After they declared they wouldn't interfere with the shattering, the Academy cast repelling seals on the east gate leading to the capital, and the south gate leading here. As you might have guessed, the seals are still active, making entry to the Academy impossible without a glintstone key. And so I'm stuck here. A fledgling sorcerer with little chance of acquiring a key. When they cast the seals, I'd just popped out. And now I'm uprooted from my place of learning.
Aww. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. This man makes me sad.
Why not find yourself a glintstone key? Without one, you can't pass through the Academy, and you'll never reach the Erdtree capital. And if you find an extra glintstone key, perhaps, once you've tied up all your loose ends, and I can be very patient, would you consider donating it to me? I know it. I'm a bluntstone. Nary a hint of talent for sorcery. But still, my place is at the Academy.
Yeah, man. We'll get you a glintstone key if we find one. So with that in mind, we're going to continue on our way. And one of the things we're going to grab is a sorcery scroll. Just right here. It's the Academy scroll. We're going to ignore all the rude dead guys and move on. I really love the ambience of Liurny of the Lakes. It's just one of the most, how do I put this? I don't know, it's just pretty. I know it's super eloquent. It's pretty, guys, it's pretty. It really is, though. Right now it's raining, so it's not as pretty. But it will get prettier. We're going to tag. And then we're going to continue on our way. This is one of my least favorite map pieces to grab, by the way. Because these revenants are so annoying. So what I like to do is jump. Oh, no, they're not going to let me. Nope. Yeah. I guess that demonstrates why it's so annoying. No words needed. So we're going to try again. And thankfully the runes aren't too far away. But I actually don't care if I lose them. They are inconsequential. Alright, so we're going to jump. That's gonna be like that today, huh? Alright. Fair enough. Gentlemen are rude. So usually what the strat is you jump, and it forces them to jump. But they land first, and then you can dash past and grab the map. Oh my goodness. That's just my luck today, isn't it? Alright. We're gonna revert to a backup strat. This one is annoying too, but whatever. We need the map piece. So, we're gonna make him mad. Make him jump over here. Get away from the map. Round the tree. And boom. That's the other way to do it. I usually prefer the YOLO way, because it saves time. But oh well. We'll do it the safe way. Speaking of, I need to get groceries. Oh well. Gonna tag the Grace. Usually... Yep, magic bolts are gonna come and try to hit us. Yep. I usually actually like it when they do that there. Because Melina will try and talk to us. And I don't want to talk. I want to run. And it's about going to the round table hold. Which we're not going to do. Yet. We will eventually. Just not right now. I've been saying that a lot. We're going to do it later. Is that a sign that I procrastinate too much? Alright. So I forgot to mention, taking that gate takes you to the front of the Rhea Lucari Academy. We're going to be coming here soon, but as you can see, after I said no, God. Melina.
I've been testing you to determine if the Elden Ring would truly have you, if you had the mettle to endure this long and arduous path. It seems my worries were unfounded. Torrent had your measure from the very start, whereas I merely pretended. There is but
Rude.
one other thing I can do to offer you guidance. I can take you to the Round Table Hold, gathering place of tarnished champions, guided by grace.
Nah, not yet. Get out of here. So what I was saying is that if you try to go through right now, you cannot. Because, as Top said, you need a glintstone key. However, what we can do is pillage these remains, and it gives you a little map. A hint as to where the key is. Now, I already know where it is, but I'll show you what the map looks like. You can find it in your inventory. And if you scroll over, sorry. There it is, meeting place map. Simple map showing a meeting place. You can examine it using square. So this is meant to be a hint. So when you unlock the full map of Liurnia, that location marked in blue should look familiar. Just in case you needed to know. So, what we're actually going to do is run back down. And running back down, we're going to nab as much stuff as we can on the way. I usually have poor luck with this, so bear with me. Everyone in here is rude. They have flamethrowers, magic stones that'll come and hit you. Yeah. But thankfully, I managed to get out unscathed. Can't say the same for earlier, though. God, that Revenants. They're terrible. Anyway, we want to be going this way, because eventually we're going to run into a part of these ruins that's a little bit more open, that has another map fragment. And those are helpful, in case you didn't know. Yeah, over there. It also has another site of grace. One thing I should mention about this area, I might die a lot. And the reason for this is due to an enemy here, which you will see when I try to run through. And you're also going to see right now, we're going to mark some spots on the map. We need to run to these spots because they have upgrade materials and checkpoints that we need to catch, because we're going to go back there later. And these are gazebos on the lake. Now, I should mention, you can only set 4 of these. So, we're going to hit the first 4 to 5 spots, and then I'm going to mark the map again, because that's how we do. Alright. Now, usually what I like to do is start from this side of grace and just run to them in turn. So we're going to do that. But you can also start from where we just started. Works either way, as long as you tag all the sites. So off we go. Also, in case you're curious, if you're curious and playing on PS5, you tag the locations on the map by hovering your cursor over it and pressing X. Okay. So, annoying enemy number 1. These are land squirts. They emit poison and block areas. You do not want to touch them. Annoying enemy number 2 is coming up soon. And what they are lobsters. No, I am not joking. They are lobsters. Except, they are lobsters who play a lot of Call of Duty, because they can 360 no-scope you from anywhere they can see you, with like a weird spit attack. Hard to demonstrate, but if it happens, then it happens. And at my level, at my current level of health, it will probably one-shot me. Which will be funny. Yeah, you can also tell that there's a lobster because you can see like a mossy back coming out of the water. There's the snipe attack. Thankfully, though, we were behind cover. I can hear the tactical nuke incoming. Yep, there it is. They snipe from very far away. But that's alright. And like I said, our runes are pretty inconsequential right now. So instead, we're going to go to the Academy Gate town, because that's where the other 2 ruins we need to hit are. But before I go, we need to mark 2 other spots on the map. This gazebo here, and this gazebo here. I think I might have hit them already, but one of them I know for sure has something we need. Doesn't matter for now, though. We're going to hit the other 3 first. There is also a side quest we're going to hit up here eventually, but not yet. I've been saying that a lot. Yeah, despite this area being very pretty, it's also very lethal. And we're going to go to another area like that later. More later on. Yeah, the other area we're going to hit up is Kaled. And Caelid is one of my least favorite areas in this game, even though it has the best boss. One I confess I never beat without help. Also, this area will become important later. Take note. It has to do with our very rude white mask friend from the beginning of the game. Now that over there is one of my favorite enemies, just because it looks ridiculous. It is called a land octopus. And I don't know, there's just something about them that I think is cute. They have a beak. They have two wiggly tentacles. And they're a joke to fight. I could probably kill that one, but I'm also not going to talk crap, because it'll be the one time I end up dying stupid. Alright. Let's keep going. Over here is going to be a site of grace. We need that. Going to be hidden in a gazebo with a tiny crab. The tiny crab has no consequence, I just like pointing him out. Ooh. Property damage. There's a tiny crab. There's two tiny crab. Oh. I actually didn't know there were two. I only ever see the one. That's funny. Alright. Now time for the next one. This one's surrounded by lobsters, so I'm probably going to get 360 no-scoped by 3 MLG lobster. That'll just be what it is. Alright. I see you. Yeah, this one likes to patrol. So I may die. But that is okay. That is a sacrifice I am willing to make. Ooh, he almost sniped me. Ooh, he went for the second one. And I die. That's how it is sometimes. That's a FromSoft game. Alright. Now we need to visit these two. One of them because it has a crucial shortcut, and the other one because more upgrade material. But we're going to be going to a place where there is a lot more upgrade material. And it won't have to wait till later, because we're going there literally almost after these. Incidentally, I know somewhere in this tree thicket somewhere is a site of grace. We're not going to tag it yet. There's my famous line. You also want to look out for those. Those are plants that will shoot magic at you. And they are annoying. These little plants also emit poison. As you can see, we are now poisoned. Which makes me very sad. But it is inconsequential. Because we're just going to run right along to this gazebo on the sea. Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me. Alright. Sorry, my singing's bad. We're going to use it. This is a gate that will take us to another location, just like the first one. But it's going to take us to a location we actually need, which is this. Takes you right to a map piece, and also a site of grace. Why did I sound so Yu-Gi-Oh saying that? Lord. Let's go ahead and upgrade our flasks too. Might as well play it safe. And now, I'm going to introduce you to another map feature. See this right here? That is a cave. This cave contains a bunch of goodies in it, namely upgrade materials. I will most likely die going through it, but that's okay, because we're just going to smash and grab and just run straight through. On our way there, though, did I tell y'all that I went through Seafood Disco? I pulled a muscle. Excuse me. Oh, good lord. My processors didn't even like that and it made my eye twitch. How about this one? You know why the mother crab never shared her wealth with her kid? Because she is shellfish. Yeah, you're gonna have to put up with dad jokes on the trip over. I could just hear it now. Byte, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Nah. Not yet. But soon. We're also going to see one of the most Shadow of the Colossus looking enemies I have ever seen in a FromSoft game. And you actually kind of kill it that way too. We're not going to do it, but just know that that's what it looks like to me. You can hear it off in the distance. It is called a walking mausoleum. Those will become important later, when we get further into our playthrough. But for right now, we're going to leave Homie be. And we're just going to go straight into the cave. Which is right here. Now, these caves are called mines. And they have miners in them. We're not going to interact with any of them. What we're going to do is go straight through. Sorry, I had to stretch. And we're going to have to just grab everything in the way while avoiding getting hit. Like so. Now I like to open this chest first. Whoop, and get hit in the back. Because there's a vein of ore back here. And I also like to grab this. More upgrade material, the better. Heal. You can grab these too. I usually don't, because they're not upgrade material. You'll know what those look like. Upgrade materials in these mines usually look like this. Like a little vein of ore that glows kind of yellowish. And what we're going to do is keep on trucking. We're going to ignore him. Now, I don't actually intend to kill this guy, but I need to cancel an attack. Or at least avoid it. Because when you backstab, you actually have iframes. And that's what we need. And that guy uses magic, which is annoying. So, I like to backstab him. And his buddy. Oh, I didn't get there in time. It's okay. We'll just avoid him and YOLO it. But usually, I like to backstab them twice. Because it gives you iframes, like I said. And the only reason why we survived there is because I blocked. Which, not recommended. But when you're in a pinch, it's good enough. And sometimes that's all we want. These guys will follow. Now, fun fact about these guys, they are actually weak to blunt damage. See? If I were to use another weapon, it would ricochet off and it would deal less damage, which ain't good. Like I said, though, we're not going to kill anything for real. We're just going to run straight through and grab upgrade materials. Oh, where'd you come from? Now, this area is a bit dicey. I don't like it. We're gonna go through anyway. And we died. That's okay though, because I tagged the important part. There was a lift right there. You could see that hole in the ground? Yeah, I set the lift up. And that lift will give us access to the lower portions, which is what we need. Works just fine for me. Why am I running into a wall? I also admit it's a bit dark. I also really like the ambient music of this game. Sometimes I just go to areas and let it play. I forgot to also grab this. You have to platform a bit carefully. And get a running jump. And usually I miss this one. Not this time. But yeah, I should probably clarify. You can actually get a running jump by running in place. So what that looks like, you hold the O button. Not like that. I wonder if that Crystallian is very confused. Like, hey yo, what was that? Alright, so to demonstrate properly on safer ground, what I did was, I held down O, and I started moving the joystick. This will let you sprint. And you can actually build up a running jump by running in a circle like this, and then jumping. Like that. Just thought I'd show that off, just to let you know what I did. And now let's get going. Like I said, this area is kind of lethal for my level. That's okay. I'm going to show you another mechanic. Crouch. Super advanced, I know. But in this game, it actually has its uses. Because your character has a set, like, presence, is the best way I can put it. And if you crouch, you reduce it. Alright, we need a backstab. Or we're gonna get hit. Ah, the other one saw me. It's okay. Now for this area, you might actually see me quit out. Because I don't like getting shot in the back. Hey, you know what? No. We're just gonna YOLO. Not a smart idea, but a fun one. Normally what I would do there is I would quit out. Because there are a lot of sorcerers, there are a lot of enemies, and I just need to run around and grab things. And now we can die. I meant that unironically, by the way. We can actually die right here. It's safe. So, we have everything we need from Rear Lucari Crystal Tunnel. We're going to move on now. There's another mine here that we need to access, but it's a little annoying to get to. Actually. The mine, getting to the mine itself isn't bad, but roaming around and exploring it is, especially at our level. So to mark it on our map, we can get rid of this. And it's over here. And all you need to do to get there is stick right. That's all you gotta do. God, I love that thing. It's so cinematic looking. I can't really explain why, but I think it looks really cool. Ooh. I need one of those. I mean, I really don't. Because there's going to be a vendor we're going to meet soon who gets our basic Somber Stone nades. But never hurts to get free stuff. There is another graveyard I could have hit here in Rea Lucaria. I mean, Lyrinia, if I'm being correct. But I don't think I need it, because there's going to be 2 techs later that we're going to use that will give us all the rooms we need. At least at first. And then I'll show you a proper rune farm later. So, like I said, actually getting here isn't bad. But you're gonna see what I consider to be one of the more annoying parts. Not compared to what we're gonna do later, but still kind of annoying. Anything to get that plus 15. Alright. These are big land squirts. Which reminds me, if you actually poison these guys, they explode, and can set off a chain reaction where they keep poisoning each other and exploding. Which is hilarious to watch. If I remember it later, we'll do that. If not, then you'll just have to take my word for it. Another golden seed. There's going to be an upgrade material in this shack. And then a site of grace. I usually just like to rest as a point of good practice, because resting also resets enemy positions. So, it's not bad to do. Just kind of unnecessary here. I also wonder what it is with From Software about long ladder climbs, as well as Poison Swamp. I know Miyazaki says he loves Poison Swamp. I do not like Poison Swamp. If they ever make another one, I sincerely hope there is no Poison Swamp. Alright, very similar story. We're just going to run straight through and grab everything on the way. As we go further in, there's going to be another one that's going to be kind of tucked in a weird place. So just know that in this particular dungeon... Rude! Yeah, these guys are called Vulgar Militia. They set up traps, and they are very small and annoying to hit. So we're not going to deal with that. No, no, no. But we are now poisoned. Not that it matters much. Okay, here's what I mean by kind of tucked in a weird spot. We're also going to avoid this guy for real quick, because we don't want to get set on fire. And now we go. I like to grab these stones over here first, because there's going to be an item up here that I like to grab. And it's kind of annoying if you grab that first and then go for the stones, because you trigger some enemies in hiding. So we're not going to do that. Lost Grace discovered. Alright. Now then, you're going to see why this area gets on my nerves a little bit. But you'll see. Send the elevator back down. Now there's a lot of ore deposits, but they're not only guarded by Vulgar Militia, but also these bats. These bats are irritating. And usually, I like to try and lead them over here so that they come down, and then when I climb back up the ladder, they are gone and not in my way, because for some reason they can't just fly back up. And I fall. I chose this voice because it sounds funny when he falls. Alright. We're gonna try again. This time, though, we don't have to go down. But I will grab some more items. Because... item. Who doesn't love items? Items are great. They do good things for you. There's a spot you can jump up here, and you'll get into the ruin tops. Oh. Usually this guy's not up here. He usually comes down pretty early. Oh well. So... we're gonna hop across. There's gonna be another vein over there. Bats are coming for us. And what I like to do is lead them back here. Oh. And then you can climb up. Except I died. So you don't climb up. Alright. Real strat that I do is I actually prefer... I forgot to send the... I forgot to send the lift. Dang it. Well, while it's coming, I'll explain. So, I like to quit out in this area a lot. Because of that, what you just saw. So, instead of doing what I did, do what I'm about to do. And quit out. Because it will reset enemy positions. And that is handy. True mark of an Elden Lord. Make enemies forget you exist. So we're going to quit out. Riveting gameplay, right? But I'd rather do this just so that we don't get stuck. There we go. And as you can see, they're over there minding their own business. Now, I hate this part coming up. So, what it... Wow. I can't talk. I can't word good. Alright, so, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go run and grab everything I can find. Then we're gonna tag this singing lady over there with a knife and try to lure her out. When we do, we're gonna summon some spirits and hope they pull aggro. Sometimes they don't. And when they don't, this makes this part painful. So let's go. They tuck these ones in the corner. And we're going to tag you with a knife. And we're going to try and bring her over here. And her batty children. Come on. Oh, God. Alright, moving on. Don't be afraid to heal. Oh, he grabbed me. That's unfortunate. But you get a general idea how the strat works. We're trying to get him away from the ladder. Eventually, I would like to get a standing desk. Because hunching over my table kind of hurts. Oh well. It's for the content. And at least in this case, we could just run through. We don't actually have to worry very much about them catching up because we're quicker. Alright. So we're going to tag her again. But we're gonna try and get her over here. Your singing sucks and you should feel bad. Alright, come on. Come on. Maybe if I pull her this way. Come on. Slide out. Thank you. Now we're going to summon wolves. We're not going to get poisoned. We're going to hope the wolves pull aggro. While we duck over here. It is also very possible for me to get tagged. Yep. Which means I have to back off. Heal. Except I had a knife. Heal. And climb. It's okay if we get tagged a few times. Not a problem. Alright. We made it. But there's still another annoying part coming up. But at this point, as long as we don't actually get killed terribly, we'll be fine. So we're gonna run this way, snag the stone, and quit out again. The quickest way to quit out, by the way, is you can actually do your menuing when you hit the start button by using your R1 and L1 triggers. Yeah. Or the bumpers is what they're called. Sorry, I'm used to calling them triggers, but they're actually bumpers. So we do that, and what happens is it'll actually menu you quicker. And if you press L1, you will actually menu yourself back quicker to the quit menu. Oh, my game is having a hard time connecting to the internet. That's fine, we don't need it. Not a problem. If it doesn't work this time, that's fine. We'll just offline it. I just like looking at the ghosts. I like looking at ghosts, man. Don't judge. Okay. I have to equip different knives, because I used all of those. In reality, I probably should have just used these ones, instead of the good expensive kukri. The reason for that is because these are less sustainable. Alright. Now we're gonna climb up here. This guy's probably gonna hit us. Yep. But that's okay. I have Crimson Flask. That again sounded way more Yu-Gi-Oh! Than I intended. Now we're gonna avoid this octopus. But he does have stuff. And we need his stuff. I need it more than he does. So we're gonna take it. There's also a chance that that octopus jumps and comes to tag you. Which looks hilarious, but I'm glad he didn't do it this time. Alright. So there's more materials. And I like to do a similar strat with these two baddie women, where I'll tag one with a knife, grab this, and let them try and attack me. Lead them around, play Ring Around the Rosie, and try to run through. Well, that's unfortunate. Yo, actually. So usually, they don't follow you up the lift. I might die here. Yep. Oh, I didn't die. Well, as long as I tag the Grace, it's fine. Because we'll come back here later. And this area has served its purpose. Alright. Now time... Sorry for another stretch. Okay. I usually stretch before I do these. Alright. Now then. We return to Limgrave. Because we need to go to Caelid. And one of my least favorite parts of the run. But we're gonna do it anyway. Because plus 15 weapon. Or I think it's actually just a plus 12. Highly upgraded weapon. Now we're going back to the first step, because we want to go to the Dragon Burnt Ruins, which are over there. And we need to get captured by a treasure chest. Not because the chest is an actual mimic, but because the chest has a trap attached to it. I'm going to activate the game's trap card and get sent to the Shadow Realm. Alright, I'm going to quit out here because I don't want to deal with rats. So while we're loading back in, what makes this next area so annoying is an enemy called a pest. Pests are like these big centipede-looking dudes with halberds. And they have an attack that can track you from anywhere. And it's so annoying. We're gonna do it anyway, because they have what we need. Offline mode. Alright. Now we're going to activate the trap. Now this trap is interesting. Because eventually it will take us to Celia Crystal Tunnel, which is all the way in Caelid. Now here comes the annoying part. We need to get past the pest up here. And there is well, there's not just a chance. We're gonna die a lot in here. But for the materials. Now that attack is the one I was talking about. That will track you from anywhere. We don't like it. And we got very lucky. Also, if you see underneath my stamina bar, you will notice that there are 3 conditions. The one on the far left that looks like the pickled put. Pickle put? What? The one that looks like a pickled turtleneck is signifying that I have increased stamina. The other 2 signify the fact that I can't fast travel. One of them because of the trap. I have to get out of here first in order to fast travel. But under normal conditions... pest threads. Alright, we're gonna unlock the shortcut. Please go. Thank you. Yeah, under normal circumstances, until you beat the area boss in these dungeons, you cannot fast travel out of them. You have to go back outside. But that is okay. We come for the upgrade materials. And usually I like to grab this item if I can, because there are some faith-based spells I like to use. Alright. Now if we die here, I don't care, because we need to go back to that little shed in the beginning. The one down here. And the reason why is because there are more upgrade materials that we need to grab. Unfortunately, this is annoying. So we'll grab that. Gonna drop down. Probably get, yep. You kiss your mother with that mouth? Sorry. I like to give those guys a hard time. But the annoying part of this dungeon actually went pretty well. I was expecting to die a lot more. So we need to grab these. And there's one down here. In this shed. So we're gonna jump in the shed. And we're done here. We just need to not die on the way out. Because they can 360 no-scope you. Alright, we're good. There's a grace. We don't really need this item, I'm gonna pick it up anyway. I just like having it, actually. Rock grease is very good for a boss later. And we're also gonna grab a new spirit friend. This one I like to call a rock dog. Alright. It's actually called a rotten stray, but I like rock dog better. Sorry, I had to cough. Now you will also notice that our status about fast travel has gone away. This is because we rested at a site of grace. That is away from the trap. So we're good now. Okay. This area is a bit annoying because of ghost sorcerers. But we're gonna ride on through. And it's also at this point I should mention, this is why I like to have kukri. Because there is a scarab that has an ash of war that I like. And the kukri are good for getting it. But I used them all. So instead, I'm going to use throwing daggers. Just the regular ones. I gotta get a bit closer. Except I fell. It's okay. Yeah, the ghost sorcerers here are a little annoying. Because they can actually teleport. Or at least go invisible while they move. Not sure how they work mechanically. But I don't like them either way. They're rude. Alright. The reason why I'm doing this is because if I try doing this up close, the bug that's holding that will teleport. And I have to chase it, which I'd rather not do. So instead, we get to positions where we can snipe it. And I'm out of knives. And I got shot in the back. So we're just gonna ride up and try to hit it. Nope. Well, I don't want to die here. So. Do I have any other throwable? Kinda. I could try using these. I've never used them. Let's see now. Yeah, maybe they'll work. Nah. I tried. Maybe. No. What if I do this? You're gonna have to forgive me my gameplay for being scuffed. I've never actually been in a situation where I didn't have kukri to throw. Because usually it takes like 2 to 3 kukri. But because I'm a forehead, it's gonna take a bit more. Which is sad. Alright. I have adjusted my seat. Let's go. This guy's gonna shoot. I don't care. Except I kinda do now. Ow. This dude's hurting my feelings. What'd I ever do to you, man? I might have to come back, actually. Because I don't like using these gravitational things. I like using them on an enemy for later. But I don't like using them here. If I don't get it in this one, leave. Yeah, we'll come back. We'll come back when I have a bow. We're gonna go to the last side of Grace. Actually, that's a good time to mention. Some areas have something called a stake of America. Not America, but America. And those stakes will let you respawn at them without needing to go all the way back to a site of Grace. They're very handy, because they're sort of like an impromptu checkpoint. And you can kind of tell that you have one, because underneath the stamina bar, you'll notice this little, like, Jesus-y looking thing. This Jesus-y looking thing. Alright. Now we're gonna get out of here. There's an NPC we'll talk to over there. But later. That's gonna be the catchphrase of this playthrough, isn't it? But later. We're gonna have another giant try to do the Kool-Aid Man. But he also throws boulder. And we don't like it, that. This merchant has my favorite helmet. But we're not going to talk to him yet. Instead, we're going to get this map fragment. Down here is going to be another Erd tree. Little Erd tree thing. Which will have a golden seed. This golden seed is what we need. Alright. Now up here is a cathedral. But unlike the other cathedrals, this one will not give you a sacred tier. This is a Church of Dragon Communion. And as we kill dragons in the game and take their hearts, we can unlock Oh god. Sorry. We will unlock dragon abilities. Yeah, if you look at this thing right here, it's the altar. And when you sacrifice a dragon heart to it, you will unlock dragon abilities, which are neat. You might use some. Might not. Let me know if you want me to use dragon abilities. Alright. We're also not going to engage with this guy, because he is a rot dragon and we're not going to make it. Blah blah blah. I can't speak today. So let me just move over here real quick. Alright. So, we are almost to where we need to be. Use this golden seed. Also, I should mention that the more we upgrade it, and by it I mean this Crimson Flask, the more we're gonna have to pay in golden seeds to upgrade it. Which is a bit but we gotta do it. Here's a cheeky side of grace over here somewhere. Right there. Gonna tag it. And now you're gonna see one of my favorite things to do in the game. Because the annoying part is over. I'm not really sure why, but I think this next part's a little cute. Because it's very much a sort of How to Train Your Dragon moment. Alright. So we tag that grace. And you'll see that we still got a little ways to go, actually. Because we need to run through these ruins to get to another site of grace that will lead us to another site of grace, which will lead to a map fragment and more upgrade materials. I promise you, you will get sick of me hearing that. You'll get sick of hearing me say that. I mean, oh my goodness. I cannot talk. There we go. Gonna sit. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go grab some runes. There's a graveyard on the edge of this cliff here. Now, I'm gonna try and avoid getting caught by a dog, but a dog will probably catch me. And if it does, then that's just funny. Alright, here we are. Did a dog catch me? No. Bunch of zombos did that. That's alright. No dog. That's actually really good luck, by the way. Usually I get tagged by a dog. We are now in Grill's Dragon Barrow. Which... There's the other grace. There's also a merchant up there that will sell samurai armor. I'm not going to use that armor for this playthrough, even though it looks dope. I do use it on another character. Actually, I use a different version of it. But, if you ask, I'll maybe show it off. Okay, now for my favorite part. We're going to drop down. And we're going to do another statue break. Because the statue is right here. Now you may be thinking, Byte, there's no robot. Or, not robot. Oh my goodness. There's no giant here. So how on earth do we break that? You know how we do it? Like this. There's a dragon over here. We're gonna make him mad. And now we're just gonna have a leisurely stroll with our dragon buddy. Come on, friend. This way, please. Now, I don't mind if he walks slow. Because, like I said, I got cocky. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I got a bit cocky, but what you're supposed to do. I'll do it right this time. I've never had that happen. That's really funny. Alright. So, we do the same thing. Drop down. Make our way back. Making our way downtown, walking fast. Dragons pass and I'm homebound. Alright. We're gonna make him mad again? Come on. And this time we're not gonna be cocky. Now, one of my favorite things to do is make him do this. Because it moves him quicker. But he has another move he can do, where he just flies straight up in the air. And that's even better. But if not, you can just enjoy a leisurely stroll with your dragon buddy while he tries to step up. Sorry. Alright. Now, we'll lead him over here. And we need to break him. We need to make him break the statue. Which he does just by being near it. Here's the flying attack. Best way to avoid it is just get away. Like that. Okay. Now that we got what we needed from him, we're going to run along the wall to a fort. This fort has an item we need. In that it's one of the best talismans you can use in the game. You will take a bit more damage using it, but that's okay. The trade-off that comes from it is worth it. The only problem is it involves going into a fort full of ghosts and more bats. If you can't tell already, I am a huge fan of bats in this game. Just love them. I love bats in this game. Not that it matters, but sometimes Grail will roar and debuff us. Doesn't really matter. Alright. Now we gotta run through the fort. I don't like this place, but our goal is in here. And it also gives us one of the few Dectus medallions. I don't know why I said few, because there's only two, but gives you 1/2 of a Dectus medallion. There we go. That's the more correct way to say it. Alright. Here's the medallion. And now we jump down. Ghosts should be spawning in. Eventually. Maybe not. So anyway, we're gonna avoid this rat. And then... Wow. Died to a rat. That's alright. It's one of the least stupid ways we can die. So instead, what we're gonna do is not die to the rat this time. Okay. Don't get stuck on a pillar. Because I don't want to get poisoned. Except I'm getting poisoned. Oh well. I also love how intense the music gets here in Caelid. It's very melodramatic and very fitting. Although I have to say my favorite music in the game is actually from sorry, I had to focus there. Oh my god. Of course. You wouldn't believe it, but this is usually the most consistent parts of my run. Oh, good god. Alright, let's try again. Yeah, you wouldn't believe you wouldn't believe it from this. But that's usually the most consistent parts. Because all you need to do is fall down, grab it, and die. And you get one of the best talismans in the game. But no, my favorite music in this game actually comes from Altus Plateau, which we will visit at some point, because we don't have a choice. You gotta do it to complete the story. Okay, now we're not gonna die to the rat. Yet. Well, come on, fall down. Thank you. Now we're gonna go this way. And now I don't care if we die. Kill me! There we go. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay. Now, the talisman we picked up will add 5 to all of our physical stats, at the expense of taking more damage. So you're going to see right here that we actually get more vigor, endurance, strength, and dexterity. But if we go over here and allow me to scoot over for a second, you're going to see here that our defense and damage negation are all going to go down. But that is okay, because this item effectively gives us free rune levels. And it also means I can two-hand the claymore without needing to invest for many stats. Now, the interesting thing about this is that we cannot one-hand it yet. If we try to, we'll do less damage. Eventually we're going to get to the point where we can. But I generally prefer to not and just two-hand it, because the two-handed moveset's great. Because you got this rolling poke, you have this stronger rolling poke, a regular poke from standing, and it's got just a nice standard moveset. So what we're going to do now is very fun, for me anyway, because we're going to go back to Rael Lucaria, and we're going to actually upgrade this thing. But to do that, Northern Lake Shore. I don't know why I said it that way. Alright. Through the ruins we go. These ruins are a little annoying, but not much, because they have wizards, or noblemen that just kind of pop in and out and cast spells like that. And over here is an illusory wall that we will strike. We're going to rest at the grace. There we go. And what we're going to do is talk to this big bro here.
Well, look at you. We don't receive many visitors. I presume you are tarnished? What brings you here?
Cruel happenstance. That's what brings me here, my guy.
Oh, pardon me. It's hardly my place to ask, is it?
You're good.
I am E.G., a blacksmith who once served the Carian royals. An old codger who refuses to retire his rusty hammer. So here I am, still quietly plying my trade on this spot. Perhaps you'd like a display? These bones are old, but
but still able.
Hey man, just be careful not to hit me.
Oh, watch out there. When I'm absorbed in my smithing, I lose sight of all else. If you come too close, I'm apt to cause you harm. I am, after all, terribly large compared to you, Tarnished. You don't know how hard it is not to break anything while I work.
Alright. So let's use some runes for right now. This is why we've been collecting so many. Because we're going to use them specifically to upgrade our weapon and make it into something awesome. So, we're going to use some runes, and we're going to use EG to upgrade our claymore. And we'll use as many runes as we need to in order to upgrade it fully. And whatever runes are left over, we're going to upgrade our stats. Level up. No, don't purchase. There we go. Oh, wait. Why am I missing one? Huh. Did I miss picking one up in the... Oh. Okay. I know where I missed it. I think. Okay. So what we need to do now is go back to Celia Crystal Tunnel. Because I think I missed a stone in there. Which is a little upsetting. But, oh well. We're gonna do it. Oh, where is it? Oh no. Did I not rest at that grace? Oh no. Alright. Well, it's been about 2 hours, and I was intending to leave it here with a fully upgraded weapon. But we're just gonna have to settle for a mostly upgraded weapon. A mostly upgraded weapon. My bad. I think my audio is starting to get a bit scuffed. Gonna have to investigate that anyway. So, we're gonna leave it here for now. This has been Byte the Robot, and I will catch y'all in my next stream. I plan to do this every Monday, so I hope to see you all here. Peace.